Well, welcome to Weight Loss That Feels Good for Good. I am Rachel and so excited that you are here today. Really want this to be an informative session today about what we can do and what we really don't want to be doing anymore when it comes to weight loss and really about sustainable weight loss. So I'm Rachel Bentz from ENJOY. I'll introduce myself a little bit more as we continue to go, but I just kind of want to jump right in. So who is this for? And hopefully you got that, and that is why you are here. But you are a smart, successful woman who, you know what, is just still stuck when it comes to weight loss. That you are tired of starting over every Monday. You are over this all or nothing mentality that I do think, and I am part of this fitness and wellness world, but sometimes we do all the things, but we are over that. And you're just really ready to feel good in your body without all of the restriction. So that's who this is for. So that's why I hope that you're here today. And I want to reassure you as we go through, but just want to say it up front that a lot of women that I work with, you are successful, you are running businesses, or you are leading teams at work, you are really successful in family and in your relationships. But you know what? You feel like that you are not succeeding in your weight loss. But I want you to let you know it's not your fault. It's your plan. It's your plan. Most diets set you up to fail. You don't need more discipline. What you really need is a new approach. And that is what I am here to share with you today. So what you're going to get, we're going to talk a little bit more about why most diets fail and what actually works. We are going to talk more about how you can eat more. Yep, eat more and weigh less. Really, it's a thing. How to boost your energy, your metabolism, and your mood. And I'm going to share with you this 3-step process that honestly I went through myself, and that is how I lost 40 pounds. I'll talk a little bit about my story in a second, but that's how I lost 40 pounds and kept it off. So I want to share with you this process of pauses, push-ups, and plants. So who am I? Hi, I'm Rachel. I am your wellness coach, your hype woman, and your maybe a little bit of a wellness nerd, but I'm Rachel. I have a master's degree in education and in kinesiology, so have the science, have the stuff, but really want to bring the joy to weight loss as well. Promise it can be joyful. I am currently Austin, Texas based, although Minnesota grown and raised, and am moving back to Minnesota in a couple of weeks, but currently still in Austin, Texas. And yep, powered by laughter, coffee, and a whole bunch of tofu tacos. And this is the picture that's so hard to share, but this was me 2021. Certainly don't look very happy. There's not a lot of joy there. And there is 40, almost 50 pounds difference between that woman. And I just did not have it together. And I honestly was coaching women to get fit. And this is what I looked like underneath the nice sweatshirt that I was wearing every day, even when it was hot out. Was not being authentic to who I was and what I was trying to coach. So took it upon myself to figure out what was missing. What did I need to do to go from this to this is today? So I lost 40 pounds in about 4 months ish. And what I did was put together meditation, so pauses. I put together push-ups, so working out, and plants, so eating well. And it was those 3 things. So making sure that I started with the push-ups, started with the pauses, added the push-ups and the plants. So it's not necessarily about the 40 pounds, but it is about taking control of my wellness and making it part of my life, not something that you have to add to your to-do list. So this is not about adding to your long to-do list. This is about how do we make small changes and integrate wellness into our life so that we can feel joyful. So that's a little bit about me. And now that we're talking about me a little bit, I also would just right at the beginning love to connect. So if we are not connected on Instagram, I'm at Enjoy My Everyday on Instagram. And I'm really about putting the social back into social media. So certainly I share things, workout plans, plant-based meals, kind of behind the scenes, and a lot of joy. But I also want to connect with you as well because I want to learn about you and your story and how I can continue to support you along your wellness journey. So take a second right now or take a second later, connect with me, enjoy my everyday. I will follow you back and we can be besties on Instagram. Okay. Why do I care so much and why am I doing this? One, I really did think that losing weight had to be hard. Thought it was going to be hard and not fun, not joyful. But now I know the truth. It can be joyful. And we are going to talk about willpower because willpower is a myth. There is no such thing. And if there is, it doesn't last. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I just want to really share that this can be easy, actually simple, maybe not always easy, but this can be simple and seamless in your life. And just know that when I changed my life, my relationships flourished, my confidence skyrocketed, and honestly, my business grew as well. So I want that for you as well, because honestly, I think one of my mission in life is to help you find joy in your own life, help you feel good in your body so that you can go rule the world. Because I don't want to do it. I don't want to rule the world, but I want there to be really strong, powerful, joyful women that are doing that. So I just want to help you do this first little step. So the ENJOY method, that's what I call this, pauses, push-ups, and plants. Let's dive into what that looks like. Why this matters. Our health is foundational. And a lot of us that are listening, or a lot of the women that I coach, we're in perimenopause, we're in menopause, we're in this midlife space where our hormones are shifting, our energy is dipping, and that can maybe cause some confidence shakiness as well. But I am here to say, it's not too late. It's never too late. I really do want you to feel amazing in your skin. What this is not. This is not a detox. No time for that. This is not a cleanse. No time for that either. This is not a 1,200 calorie plan because I like food and who wants to only eat 1,200 calories? That's just silly. And this is not a guilt trip. There is no judgment, no guilt trip, none of that. What this is practical, hopefully fun, backed by science for sure, and designed for real women with real lives. Like, I get it. I know you're busy. I know you have lots of things to do. So again, as I said before, we want this to be part of your life, not something that we're doing separate from your life. I also want you to know you're not alone. You are not alone. You are not failing. You are not lazy. You're not too far gone. You've really just been following the wrong blueprint. So let's fix that, and let's fix that together. So I want to take a quick pause and say, although not our pause, but take just a quick moment and introduce the ENJOY community. Now, some of you may be already familiar with this, but just want to put in a little plug. I'm going to give you, it's free. So just putting in a plug that it's also free. But there is a community of women that is already together talking about some of these things. So just want to give a little bit of a preview, and I will give you the link at the end if you're not part of this free community. But again, you are not alone. There are other people like you going through the same thing. And it's a really great place to trade ideas, to get some inspiration, and just to be joyful together as we are on this journey. So let's be real. You've done all the right things. You have tried to eat less. You have moved your body more. You have downloaded all of the apps, and yet you still don't feel good in your body. And it's not because you're broken. It's because maybe the plans were, or maybe you're following the same plan you did when you were 25. You know what? That might have worked when you were 25, but ladies, we know that the same things do not work today, right? So you're not broken. We just need to find a plan that works for you. We can do that. Let's talk about diets. Most diets do not work. And the reason is it's really about science. Diets rely on restriction, on willpower, and they create short-term results. I mean, if you had a plan that said eat 1,200 calories a day, work out 6 days a week, yeah, you're gonna lose some weight. That's science as well. You're gonna lose some weight. However, after those 90 days, you're gonna be like, whew, got to the end. Now I can just go back and do what I was doing before. So they're only going to have short-term results. But you know what? Our bodies are smart. Our bodies are smart, which is a good thing. Our bodies are really here just to keep us alive, right? So your body is smart. It adapts. It slows down your metabolism. It fights back. And that's not your fault. That's not failure. That's biology. So we want to find a plan that we're working with our bodies, not against our bodies. And willpower is a myth. Willpower is a finite resource. Let me say that again. Willpower is a finite resource. It exists for a while, and then it's fickle and it just goes away, right? It goes away because stress, work, decision fatigue, all of that eats away and drains your willpower. So that's why the quote unquote perfect plan feels impossible to stick to. You can't stick to it if it's that hard. So it's not you. It's not a you problem. It's a systems problem. We can't rely on willpower, but we need to rely on our building sustainable habits. And that's what I'm all in for, building sustainable habits. So does this look familiar, this restriction cycle? So you restrict, right? You're on this really strict diet. You white knuckle your success because you know what? You are a smart, powerful, capable woman. So of course you're going to stick to the plan that you've been given. So you restrict, you white knuckle your success, and then what happens? Oh my goodness, I'm starving and I'm exhausted. So cravings and exhaustion, you know what, you fall off track for a day or so. And then you get into the cycle where you're like, shoot, now I feel bad about myself and now I have to start over on Monday. So I start over on Monday, restricting, white knuckling my success, having my cravings and exhaustion, and I fall off track. How many of us, yes, me included, how many of us have been in that cycle? Yikes. None of that. I don't want any of that anymore. I don't want that anymore. But it's natural. Your body has a natural response to dieting. So diets, when you're eating 1,200 calories or 800 calories or whatever you're eating, it lowers your metabolism. It increases your cravings, lowers your energy. And when you say no to yourself about something, what are you obsessed with? What you said no to. So you're so hungry and all you can think about is food. You can't think about that meeting that you have set up with a potential client or with a teammate. You are just thinking about when is my next meal. But you know what? Again, it's science. Your body is just trying to protect you. We are not that far evolutionary from that whole, where's our next meal going to come from? Right? So our body's just trying to keep us alive. So it's not your motivation. It's science, it's biology, it's the plan. We just need a different plan. Again, getting back to that science, 95% of diets fail within 2 years. So you can do it because I know you're strong and capable, but you're going to regain it. Most women regain more weight than they lost. And When you lose weight, you not only lose fat, but you're losing some of your lean muscle mass as well. And believe me, when you gain the weight back, you're not getting lean muscle weight back. So we're becoming fatter as we're doing that. And chronic dieting increases our belly fat, increases cortisol, which again increases belly fat. And hello, if you are in perimenopause like me, we're already fighting increased belly fat because of what's happening with our hormones. So you're not weak. You're just wired for survival. So, what actually works? Consistency. I think my clients are probably tired of me saying that all the time, but consistency. Consistency over intensity. And full plates, right? I like to eat food, so we want a full plate of food. So, full plates, not tiny portions, full plates. We want to think about building strength, not just burning calories. We want to build strength. We want to build lean muscle, not just work out to burn calories. We want to have daily habits. We want to build daily habits, just like we brush our teeth every day. We also want to have daily habits around our wellness. We don't want to have detoxes. Done with those. And most importantly, we want a plan that feels good. And we want to talk about weight loss, not fat loss. So one of the things I do say often to my clients is your weight is just your relationship with gravity. I mean, seriously, your weight equals your relationship to gravity. That is all that number means on the scale. And let me tell you, so the other day, I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago, I stepped on the scale and I was like, what is that number? So I do not know what happened, but my scale turned British overnight and weighed me in stones. I was like, I don't even know what this number means. It weighed me in stones. So I don't know if my cat was jumping on it or what happened. I don't even have any buttons on my scale. It's all digital. Anyway, my scale now weighs me in stones. So what that was, I think, was the universe telling me, okay, the number really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that number is. Now it's, I don't know, some kind of stones, which I don't really understand, but it's just my relationship to gravity. What we really want to think about is fat loss. Your fat loss is your relationship with your body because that changes how our bodies feel, how we function, how we look, how we fit in our jeans, because that's important as well, at least it is to me. So we want to shift that. We want to shift the goal from weight loss to fat loss and shift the goal into feeling strong and energized and confident, not just skinny based on whatever that number is on the scale. It's the enjoy reframe, or that's what I call it. It's not about shrinking yourself. It's about expanding who you are. It's about feeling strong in your skin, having the energy to show up big, and making choices from joy, not from fear. You want to enjoy your food. You want to enjoy your workout, not fear the movement or what you just put in your mouth. So you have been lied to. And I, again, am part of this fitness wellness industry that probably has lied to you. Hopefully I haven't, but the industry has. You were told, eat less and move more. Suffer now, feel better later. And you just need more discipline. I call BS on all of that. You can eat more and weigh less. You do not have to suffer to change. And you're allowed to have fun along the way. Because for me, fun is one of my top 5 values. And if I'm not having fun, it's not really worth it. So let's compare those ways. So let's look at the old way compared to the enjoy way. The old way, you were eating 1,200 calories, or you were told to eat 1,200 calories. The enjoy way, we are going to eat really big, high fiber, plant powered meals. The old way, just get on the treadmill, just do your cardio. The enjoy way, strength, we need to do some strength training plus movement that you love. If you don't love the treadmill, don't get on there. If you love dancing in your kitchen or hiking, going to Zumba or paddleboarding, whatever that is, pick something you love because you're going to do it if you love it. The old way, no pain, no gain. The new way, no burpees, unless you love them. No burpees, no BS. We're just going for results, ladies, just results. Willpower? Nope. We are doing it the ENJOY way with joy and support because you're not going to do this alone. And the old way, one size fits all, that doesn't work. We are all N of one, right? We are all our own individual person and bodies, and we need personal guidance and we need a personalized plan. That's where we're going. That is where we're going. So the better way starts here. This isn't a diet. That's not what we're talking about today. I am talking about a framework for energy, ease, and confidence. As I said before, built for busy women, it's rooted in science and designed for sustainability. So let's jump into the ENJOY method. Pauses, push-ups, and plants. And we're starting with pauses. We're starting with pauses today. All right, your nervous system. And again, when I did this whole weight loss and journey on my own, this was the piece that I was missing. And this is honestly, I think, the most important piece. Yes, how we move and what we put in our bodies is also important, but we have to start with this because our nervous system is the foundation of our metabolism. So we need to take care of our nervous system. And right now, ladies, she's tired. She's tired. So what we need to do is we need to take some daily moments to reset our stress response because you cannot feel amazing in your body if your brain is stuck in this fight or flight. We cannot. So why stress equals stuck? So why we are not losing weight is because chronic stress increases our cortisol, increases belly fat. As we said this before, when we have increased belly fat, actually we have increased belly fat, let me reword that. And we also have increased belly fat because we're going through perimenopause, and that is where our body fat is moving. I know it sucks, but it's just true. Chronic stress also increases our sugar cravings, and we're already having hormonal craziness with perimenopause or menopause, and this also adds to that chaos. So if you feel like, I've been doing everything right, I've been doing everything by the book. Yep, you have, except you have not figured out how to regulate your nervous system. So we need to do that. We need to regulate our nervous system. And I'm not talking about being a monk and meditating for, 2 hours a day. I'm asking you for 10 minutes. And honestly, you can start with one. You can start with 1 minute a day, but let's talk about moving up to 10 minutes. 10 minutes of mindfulness can lower your cortisol, improve digestion, reduce your emotional eating, and increase self-awareness. This isn't woo-woo. I promise it's not woo-woo. I know people think meditation and all of this energy, blah, 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 is a little woo-woo. It's not. This is wired into your biology. So let's think about this. Let's think about creating a habit around regulating our nervous system. We brush our teeth every day, right? Or hopefully we brush our teeth every day. What about your brain? What about creating a habit for nervous system hygiene? I mean, I said 10 minutes, but we can start with one because we're just creating habits. We are creating habits around this nervous system hygiene. It can be breath work. So it can be some deep breathing. It can be a guided meditation. It can be a solo walk without your phone or your headphones. It can be a body scan. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to kind of migrate or settle on something just a little bit different. But pick something. I want you to pick something and I want you to start today. Maybe it's 1 minute. Maybe it's 5 minutes. Get your phone out and just set your timer and do some deep breathing. You don't need a meditation cushion. This is one of my things. I like to have everything perfect, right? I like to have the perfect workout. I'd like to have the perfect, cutting board and knives and all of the kitchen stuff. I like to have a meditation cushion and all of the things set up and a candle. Yes, that's lovely. And I'm not discouraging you from that, but You don't need it all. You just need 2 minutes in your car, in the kitchen, on a walk. We do not need perfection in order to regulate our nervous system. We just need consistency. Just need consistency. So you can't hustle your way into health. Like honestly, and that's what I was trying to do before. I was trying to lose weight by hustling, by doing something. I want to do the workout, or I want to make sure that I'm eating all the right things. I want to make sure that I'm meal planning and doing the things. You don't need to do that. What we need to do is breathe and work with our bodies. Our bodies really do change the most when it feels safe. Our bodies, again, are just here to keep us alive. So we need to pause, breathe, make sure our bodies feel safe so that when we take on the next steps of doing the workouts and eating all of the nutritious, amazing plant-based meals, our bodies feel safe, and so that it will work with us. So stillness isn't lazy, it's strategic. We need to push less. We need to have more peace. That is the power of pauses. That's the power of pauses. So again, in the ENJOY community, if you decide to join, there are some guided meditations. There will be weekly pause challenges, and we really celebrate resetting. We want to celebrate resetting our bodies because sustainable change isn't about more. It's not about more. It's sometimes about less, and it is about regulating our nervous system and doing it consistently. So what can it look like? What does a pause look like? I gave you a couple of things before, but you can be sitting in silence for a couple of minutes. You can maybe just like smell some pepper and oil and breathe. You can journal one sentence, write something that you're grateful for, listening to your favorite calming song, whatever that looks like. So if you want to, you can drop in the chat section, what would feel good for you today? I want you to really think about that. What would feel good for you today? And then the other thing that I want you to do is take out your calendar, and I want you to write in your calendar when you are going to start consistently doing, and maybe it really just is a minute. So everybody has a minute in the morning. I promise you have a minute in the morning. Do some deep breathing. Maybe you start with a minute and you work up to 10. But I want you to write in your calendar, because what we write in our calendar happens, right? So write a pause in your calendar. That's what I'm going to encourage you to do today. So we're not actually going to practice this right now, but I do want you to write it in your calendar. And then I want you to consistently do that thing to start to regulate your nervous system. Okay. Because when we pause, everything else becomes easier. I promise. So do this first. We are going to jump into the workouts and into the plant-based eating, but do this first. This is the foundation. Listen to your body. She will work with you. She will love you, and she will help you lose weight. Okay, let's get into the push-ups. Let's get into the push-ups. All right, we don't do burpees. I mean, unless you really love doing burpees, we don't do burpees. What we do is we do movements that make us feel like badasses, whatever that is. And that's going to be different for all of us. Push-ups. It's my word for joyful strength building movement. We don't do punishment. We don't do shame. We only do power here. So we do need to do strength training. Let me tell you, I know. Some people are like, I don't want to, but ladies, we need to do strength training. It's just part of it. This is part of science. This is something that we need to do. We need to build muscle. So the benefits of building muscle, faster metabolism, which is great because we can eat more, and who doesn't want to eat some more? Better bone density, and we need better bone density, especially as we age, right? We don't want to fall and break a hip, or as really what happens, I think sometimes, is that we break the hip and then we fall and we think we've broke the hip while we've fallen. Anyway, we need better bone density. We're going to have more confidence, right? improved insulin sensitivity. If the more lean muscle that we have on our bodies, we are going to improve our insulin sensitivity, which is definitely, we all want that. And easier weight maintenance, right? If we have more lean muscle, we're going to lose weight and maintain our weight better. This is your midlife superpower. Everybody needs to be weight training or strength training. Here's the deal. 1 pound of muscle burns 3 times more calories than 1 pound of fat. Let me say that again. 1 pound of muscle burns 3 times more calories than 1 pound of fat. And muscle looks smaller, or it is smaller. It takes up less space. So we fit into our jeans better and we can eat more. Remember the eat more, weigh less? That's what we need to do with muscle building. So we need to build our muscle because muscle is metabolic gold. Cardio is great for your heart. Don't get me wrong. That is the other movement part, and we still need to do that. But muscle, that is your ticket to sustainable fat loss. And it's not just a look. I mean, it does look nice, I think, but it's a feeling. When you have more lean muscle, you can carry all of your groceries like a champ, right? You can go to Costco and get all the things and carry them all in. You can rock some sleeveless tops with confidence. You can launch your business with energy. You can do anything you want when you have some more lean muscle on your body. Strong women, they don't shrink. We rise, right? We rise. I do have a question. There's a question in the chat. If I start things, have to worry about protein. And I will get to that, Linda. Question. You do have to worry about protein, and we'll get to that when we get to the next section. Movement that sparks joy. Okay, so we talked about the strength training. That might spark joy for some of you. It certainly sparks joy for me. But we also need to be doing some cardio. So we're forgetting the gym shame, forgetting the HIIT, high intensity training. We don't need to be doing HIIT. What movement should feel like for you? It should feel like play. It should feel like it brings you power and peace. And you don't need 90 minutes of something in the gym. We need to start with maybe just 20 minutes of intention. So let's go back to that ENJOY community just for a quick second as well. In the ENJOY community, I do have flexible workout plans from beginner to intermediate to advanced, gym and home, daily workout accountability texts so that if you are looking for some accountability with your workouts, we can help you there. 0 burpees, 0 shame, right? So all of that. And again, at the end, I will make sure to drop that link in the chat. What counts as push-ups? What counts as movement? Yes, the strength training. But the other piece, it could look like yoga. It could look like a walk and talk call. I know that some of you do that already. It could look like a dance party. It could look like cleaning to Bon Jovi or whoever you like to listen to. If it moves your body and if it lifts your energy, it counts as movement. And the other thing is it's not about perfection, right? It's not about perfection. Maybe you try something new and you get all involved in this new thing. Maybe you never played pickleball or you've never paddleboarded or you've never, I don't know, done downhill skiing, whatever it is. It's not about perfection. You don't need to get back on track. What you need to do is build a track that you actually like being on. So it's finding those pieces of movement. Is it jazzercise? Is it racquetball? Is it ballroom dancing? You just need to find something that you like to do because consistency beats intensity every single time. But Rachel, what if I failed before? So what? So what if you failed before? You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. And this time you've got a method, pauses, push-ups, and plants. You have a community, the ENJOY community, and you have a coach who won't let you quit on yourself. I promise I won't let you quit. We will talk about the ENJOY90 kind of towards the end, but I also want you to let you know because you do have a coach that won't quit on you. You have a coach that will give you a push that feels like a hug, because I am here to support and celebrate you. I'm just here for you. I promise. I really am. So here's some things that some past clients have said as well. Once they've joined either the community or the ENJOY90 program, I've lost 12 pounds, but I've gained even more confidence. Not about the weight necessarily, right? I sleep better and have way more energy for my job. Who doesn't want that? I haven't skipped a workout in 6 weeks. Who am I? Who am I? These are real women with real lives just like you. And I want this for you as well. So let's check in. What push-up style movement would make you feel good today? If you want, drop it in the chat or write it again in your calendar. What are you going to commit to this week? I would love if you got up to, doing some kind of movement every day and strength training 3 days a week, but you're not there. Start with strength training for 10 minutes, 1 day a week. Totally fine. Start easy. Start with a couple of days of movement. Wherever you're at, just do one tiny thing. Put it in your calendar though. Write it in your calendar like an appointment. You keep appointments to yourself. You keep appointments to other people, right? So you go to the dentist, you go to the doctor, you drive your kids somewhere, and you're not going to let them down. If it's in your calendar, you're going to do it. If it's in your calendar, we don't have to worry about willpower. We just have to execute to it. So what are you going to do? I would love to hear from you. And I also would love to have you just put it in your calendar. All right, let's get to what do we get to eat, right? We talked about of course we need to, but we want to eat lots of things. So we're going to talk about plants. We've learned how to reset our stress. We have learned to move with more joy. Now let's talk about the food. And again, you get to eat way more and drop the weight, because this is where it gets fun. Food is not the enemy. Food is not the enemy. Food is the fuel for your energy, your mood, and your metabolism. We're going to talk about plants. We're going to talk about plants a lot because plants let you eat a lot. You get volume. I like to eat a lot. You get fiber, you get flavor, and freedom. Because who doesn't want freedom from their food? So let's take it just a second and address the elephant in the room. What plant-based actually means. So for this masterclass, it does not necessarily mean 100% vegan. Now, I am 100% plant-based, but most of the women that I coach are not 100%. So it does not mean vegan. It does not mean boring. And it does not mean just eating salads. Promise. It means prioritizing plants on your plate. We will talk about prioritizing protein first and then filling in the plants after that. But prioritizing plants, although the protein can be plant-based, which it is for me, but protein, adding instead of restricting, right? Because honestly, we're just like 5-year-olds here, right? We don't like to say no to ourselves. So it's if we don't want to restrict, we want to add. I want to think about my plate. I want to think about all of the amazing things I can add. And it just kind of crowds out the things that aren't maybe as good for me. We want to think high fiber, high flavor, high satisfaction. Eat more, way less, for realsies, for realsies. And the way we do this is because plants are high volume, low calorie, nutrient dense food. This means you get to eat bigger portions, stay full longer, and you get to support weight loss without tracking every bite. Now, tracking, we'll talk about that maybe in a little bit, or we do talk about that in the coaching space. You might want to track your food a little bit. I do 4 times a year. We can talk about that, but it's not about tracking every single piece of food for the rest of your life. And this is science, not deprivation. This is science, just science. All right, Linda, so let's get to your question. Yes, protein is queen and queens rule the world, right? Protein is queen. Yes, you can get enough from plants, but we do need to focus on protein. So protein equals mental focus. Protein equals muscle preservation or muscle building, and protein keeps you full longer. So we want to get enough protein in. For most women, we want to aim for, 100 to 120 grams of protein a day. I can help you figure out how to do that. It's not hard, and it's seriously, it's not hard, and it's actually very delicious. And I want to talk about protein for breakfast. So there is some research, really good research out there, that getting 30 grams, so I know I said 25 to 30 here, but getting 30 grams of protein at your first meal of the day, whenever that is super important. Because as we age, our muscles are less able to synthesize protein. So we need to get a lot at breakfast, because there seems to be some mechanism that if we get at least 30 grams of protein for breakfast, that opens up the protein receptors in our muscles so that we're better able to receive and synthesize the rest of the protein that we're getting in. So focusing on getting a really good 30-gram protein breakfast is what if you're not focused on anything else right now, that is what I want you to focus on. And what does that look like? So that could look like 6 egg whites if you're eating eggs, and 2 teaspoons of hemp seeds. It could be a cup of lentils and a slice of sprouted grain toast. It could be a smoothie with some ENJOY or any kind of protein that you want to put in, some soy milk or plant-based milk, and some chia seeds. It could be my favorite, a tofu scramble with a black bean tortilla and salsa. So good question, Linda. Do I need to worry about too much fat? You know what? If we're looking at calories and protein, because at the end of the day, we do need to look at calories as well. But if we look at calories and protein, the carbs and the fat kind of just figure themselves out. So I don't worry so much about that. Really just thinking about being in the slight caloric deficit and then getting enough protein in. So I don't worry. I honestly don't even know how much fat I get in during the day. And I don't know about most of my clients what they get in. I'm looking at their protein and fiber. So we are going to get into fiber as well, because that is super important. But let's stay in the protein for just a quick second, because I do have a little tip. I know that protein bars there are a gazillion protein bars out there. And I just want to caution us that when we're looking for a protein bar, now there's some good energy bars out there that don't meet this criteria, which I still eat. But if you're looking for a really good protein bar, a really just easy thing is to look at the grams of protein and then multiply that times 10. And that you want to have your calories be under how much protein is in there. Does that make sense? So if you're looking at a bar and it is 15 grams of protein, but 220 calories, that's more of an energy bar and not a protein bar. But if you look at your protein bar and it has 20 grams of protein and it's only 180 calories, that's actually a really good protein bar. So just kind of a quick math. I'm not actually that great at math, but quick math. Look at the protein, multiply it times 10, and your calories should be less than that. I like to look at something that has at least 20 grams of protein. And I do love a good energy bar as well. Don't get me wrong. I do love a good energy bar, but if you're looking for a protein bar, look for something using that calculation. Okay, let's talk about fiber. So I often talk about fiber instead of carbs as well, because we can get a lot of carbs without fiber. And fiber really is our secret weapon. Protein keeps us full. Fiber also keeps us full. Fiber also regulates your blood sugar, supports your gut health, it boosts fat loss, and it also reduces inflammation. And 95% of women don't get enough. The RDA is 25 grams of fiber, really trying to aim for 30 grams of fiber. So looking for high fiber foods. So we're talking about protein and we're talking about fiber. Both of those things are going to help you lose weight and keep you full. Another question was my black bean tortilla. I actually buy them. I'm not a really good cook, so I actually buy my black bean tortillas. Okay, real food. Somebody asked me once, do you just live on protein powders and protein bars? No, I do not. And I'm not even a person that spends a lot of time in the kitchen, but there are plenty of things that you can make. Stir fries are super easy. I often have a tofu stir fry. I'm a huge taco girl, especially living in Austin, Texas. I do tofu tacos all the time. High protein bowls, smoothies, avocado toast, and hemp hearts. I also am not a meal planner. Or a meal prepper. I'm a meal planner. I'm not a meal prepper. Kudos for you, those of you who do. And I do need to know how to coach you how to do it. It's just not part of my day, or it's just not part of my week. I've tried and not my thing. And you don't have to. You just need some simple go-to meals. What I do encourage that all of my clients have is 2 or 3 breakfasts, 2 or 3 lunches, 2 or 3 dinners that are your go-tos. So that you know, if I eat these things during the day, I'm going to hit my 100 grams of protein. I got my 30 grams of protein for breakfast. I'm getting my 30 grams of fiber. Once you have that figured out, which I certainly can help you with, once you have that figured out, you're kind of golden. And then you can just add some things or experiment with some other things as well. I just got a question about oils. Sometimes I don't use oil. Sometimes I just use a little bit of water to heat my tortillas. But if I am using any oils, I love avocado oil. I use olive oil for lots of things. I know that's not a high heat thing. I'm rolling my eyes a little bit. But whatever works for you. I try to stay away from seed oils, but so olive oil and avocado oil are kind of my go-tos in my house. But again, inside the ENJOY community, if you decide to join, and again, I will put the links up at the end. I have a ton of plant-forward recipes. There's some meal plans in there. So there's a 30-day meal plan. There's 7-day meal plans. I also have a supplement guide. I talk about like what to take, what not to take. I'm all about creatine and I'm all about protein powder, but I'm not a pusher. But the guides are in there. We have nutrition challenges, and I promise nobody's going to take your coffee or your chocolate. I have chocolate every day, so you're good to go. You're good to go. What to add, not to cut. As I talked about before, I like to think about what I can add. Let's keep it simple. Think about color, fiber, protein, and plants in every meal. It is not about perfection, just about progress. Not about perfection, just about progress. Rachel, what about sugar, wine, and pizza? Sure, if you want it, sugar, wine, and pizza. Maybe not all together, but maybe. There is room for all of it. It's not about guilt here. You're a grown woman. You're a grown woman. You're allowed to enjoy your life. We focus on what you do most of the time. What do you do 80% of the time? Let's do that. Let's focus on that. We don't focus on every single bite. I don't have time for that. Not all about that. So let's talk about supplements as I did before. A couple that I like. Definitely I do a protein powder. I do creatine every day. We can talk about that. I can talk about creatine a bunch. Collagen, greens, BCAAs. Definitely all the information is in the ENJOY community. So would love to have you in there and we can talk more about that. A simple day on a plant-powered plate. This is an easy day for me. Tofu scramble and avocado toast for breakfast, sometimes just a tofu scramble. Lento taco salad. Protein shake and berries maybe for a snack. Chickpea stir fry with brown rice for dinner. And dessert, my favorite chocolate protein banana ice cream. It's not actually ice cream, it's nice cream. It's a frozen banana, put in the food processor with some chocolate protein powder, and I have ice cream for dinner. Sometimes I have it for dinner, but for dessert. But then you get your protein as well. So again, real results from real women. I started adding plants and I dropped 6 pounds without trying, right? Because you get to eat so much. I'm not starving anymore. My cravings have disappeared. I actually love how I feel. No more food guilt. This is what happens when you stop dieting and start fueling. So let's recap. We're getting towards the end here. Let's recap. The ENJOY method. Pauses. You need to regulate your nervous system. Push-ups. Strength and movement that sustains you and fills you with joy. Plants. fuel that satisfies you. You don't need another diet. You need a method that works with your life, not against it. And you don't have to do this alone, because this isn't a one-time thing. This is the start of something powerful. First, the ENJOY community is your free place to get accountability, to learn and to grow, to take consistent action and have fun while you're doing it. So join us today. I'll put in a second the link in the chat, but join us today. It's free. It's fun. It's freaking fabulous. So we've learned the method. Let's talk about what this looks like when you actually implement it with me by your side. ENJOY90, your personalized 90-day journey to strength, energy, and joy. So let's go. 90 days, a 90-day high-touch coaching experience for women who are done starting over. What you will get, you'll implement the ENJOY method with real-time support. You're going to build habits that feel good and stick so they're sustainable. And you're finally going to feel confident, strong, and in control of your wellness. So ENJOY90, this is for you if you want to stop Googling, what should I eat? If you're ready to ditch the guilt and feel good again. If you want some support from me with zero shame. And you're ready to show up in your body and your life with confidence. Again, real woman, real results. I lost 10 pounds and gained so much clarity. I'm not afraid of food anymore, because who wants to be afraid of food? I feel strong, sexy, and seen. And I finally have a plan and the energy to follow through. This is what happens when you stop going it alone. So what's included in ENJOY90? Daily accountability and text check-ins from me, not a bot, from me. Daily accountability and text check-ins. Access to a fitness and habit app. Personalized workouts and meal plans. Like, I'm going to personalize your workout and I'm going to help you develop your personalized meal plan. It's not something cookie cutter. So it's not something that I just send and say, here's your meal plan. It's we develop that together. Education on supplements and macros, meditation and mindset coaching, because again, we need to regulate that nervous system, right? And community and connection, and zero judgment, ever, zero judgment. So let's choose your adventure. Yay, I love this. Remember the Choose Your Adventure books? Today you get to choose your adventure as well. 3 different levels of ENJOY90. Basic, Prime, Elite. Basic, you're really feeling like you can do this by yourself, you just need a plan. So for $97 a month, all of these are a 3-month commitment, and you can then go month to month after that. But you get daily support and accountability from me. You still get daily texts from me. You get a personalized plan. I am personalizing your plan for you, but it's a little more self-led with a little bit of structure from me. That's option 1. Option 2, Prime, $347 a month. All of the basic stuff, but you get to Zoom with me every other week. So we get on every other week and we get to talk. What's going well? Let's celebrate. Let's give some high fives. What's not going well? What's the next step in your journey? So we create these habits step by step, and you get to talk to me one-on-one every other week. So you get that more FaceTime, you get a little more personalized guidance. But if you know yourself and you know you need even a little bit more accountability for the Elite for $547 a month, you get all of that, but you get weekly talks with me. We get to talk every week. Every week I get a Zoom call with you and we get to talk about the successes, talk about where you're struggling, and make a plan for that next week. So high touch, next level support, total transformation. All right, bonus. If you join by the 30th, and you'll get 25% off of any level. So if you join by the 30th, you will get 25% off of any level. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. So which level's for you? And I really want you to think about what is best for you. What's best for you? Basic, you're self-motivated and you just need a plan. Gotcha. $97 minus that 25%, you're golden. Prime, you want structure, but you want a little more guidance and you want to feel seen. I've got you there. It's a great level. So every other week we get to talk one-on-one. But you're like, Rachel, I know me. I need a little more hand holding, at least for these first 90 days. And you are ready to go all in. Let's go. Let's go with that elite package. I am here for you. I'm ready for you. But whatever your path is, I've got you. I promise I've got you. This isn't about hustle. Remember, we talked about regulating our nervous system. This isn't about hustle. This is about habit and joy and consistency. We work together. I mean, you get me. We work together. We make it stick. We keep it fun. This is not a crash course. This is a complete transformation. So you ready? Pick your level. Fill out your intake form. And then you get access to your plan or access to me if you're that prime or elite, and we start. You will know exactly what to eat, how to move, and how to stay consistent. So I am going to drop those things into the chat. If you need those links in the chat, let's go. Let's freaking go. All right. You're like, Rachel, but what if I'm not 100%? What if I'm not 100% plant-based? No worries. I meet you where you're at. We talked about that before. Rachel, what if I failed before? You might have. Okay. But you have never had me before. You've never had this level of support. What if I travel or have a busy life? You know what? I did too. I do too, right? So ENJOY90 was designed for real women with real schedules. I've got you. I've thought of it all. I've got you. There is no need to worry. All right. If you join, because you are listening to this, if you join by the end of the day on June 25th, you will get into a drawing to win a month for free. Whatever level you picked, you get 1 more month for free, or a month worth of creatine. All right. So I'm going to draw 3 winners. So join by the end of the day. Join by the end of June 25th, and you will be in the drawing to win. You know what? So good luck, but join. You need to do this. You need to do this because you deserve this. This is not about weight loss. This is about coming home to yourself. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to suffer to succeed. You just have to start. And let's start together. Let's do this together. Are you ready to feel good in your body again? Let's do this. Let's make the next 90 days the ones that change everything. Join ENJOY90 today now. It's in the chat. Pick your level and then join the free Enjoy Wellness community. Remember, join by the end of today and get in the drawing. If you don't join by the end of the day, join by the 25th of June and you'll still get the 25% off. Still have questions? DM me on Instagram, email me, find me. I am here for you. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you and how I end all of my podcasts. I want you to have fun, live well, enjoy.